The people watching in the crowd didn't understand why Kevin was doing this. "What the heck is that do?" Mike was confused. "Does he think his head is harder than a sword?" Lionel let out a laugh. "What a dumb way to die," Luther sneered. Meanwhile, Harley, Wayne, and even Nadia slapped their armrests and stood up from their seats almost at the same time. They all sensed that something was wrong, but even if they wanted to save Kevin, it would be too late for them to intervene as it was all happening so quickly. A bitter smile appeared on Kevin's face. Is this how I'll die? Amidst the uncertainty of his fate, Kevin closed his eyes. At that moment, he felt that time had slowed down and his entire life flashed before his eyes. Countless memories from the past suddenly swept through his mind. However, as time passed, the excruciating pain that Kevin was expecting never came. When he slowly opened his eyes, he was surprised to see the Night King standing in front of him. As for Kelly, she had been sent flying towards the other end of the arena. Kevin could see her using her sword for support as she got up from the ground. "What are you doing here?" Kevin asked the Night King curiously. "Instead of asking me that, you should take a look at your own situation." The Night King's expression was very serious. Before Kevin could react, he suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood. Feeling pain and discomfort all over his face and neck, he quickly realized that he had been pierced with tiny spikes. The blood loss was making him dizzy, and as he started pulling them out, he realized they were magnetic. They started attaching themselves outside the pocket where he kept the night dagger. No wonder he was being pulled towards Kelly's sword just a moment ago. Suspecting that foul play was involved, he immediately looked up at the platform to find Renee. Before he could, he fell unconscious from all his blood loss. "Who are you? How dare you cause trouble here?" Wayne shouted as he and the other leaders ran to the arena. "Your contestant may not be good enough to win on her own merit, but what gives you the right to make a sneak attack on my student? Using such a despicable method, how can you still call yourself an honorable leader?" The Night King disdainfully looked at the school leaders trying to find the culprit. "What sneak attack? Do you have any proof? It was obvious to me that Kevin was running toward Kelly's sword of his own free will. Perhaps he just wanted to swiftly kill himself to make things easier for everyone," Renee retorted in a cold voice. However, there was fear in her eyes. She had no idea who this mysterious man was. Hearing their conversation, the surrounding crowd didn't dare to speak. Fearing for their lives, they froze in their seats, waiting for the scene to unfold. "What a glib tongue you have. I should teach you a lesson." After saying this, the Night King suddenly gave Renee a powerful shove that sent her flying across the arena. She landed right next to Kelly and spat out a mouthful of blood. The leaders from the top 10 organizations were even more afraid when they saw the Night King up close. Their bodies became extremely tense. A couple of them drew their weapons but didn't want to provoke a potentially powerful enemy. "Who are you exactly?" Wayne braced himself and asked again. "You've hurt my student badly. As his mentor, I have to protect and avenge him," the Night King replied coldly. At this point, the crowd couldn't help but react. "That man is Kevin's mentor? How come I've never heard of him before?" Lionel wondered. "How can a useless son-in-law like him afford a private mentor?" Mike sneered. "It's not easy to strike fear in people like them. Who is that man?" Luther was curious. While this was going on, Lily left her seat and quickly ran to Kevin. She picked him up from the ground and started crying. "The top 10 organizations are just evil people who are vying for power, fame, and wealth. I can't believe that they'd resort to doing such shameless things just to get ahead." Mackenzie gritted her teeth as Dalton, Penny, and Phoebe all shook their heads in disgust. Knowing that they were partly to blame for what had happened, Wayne and Harley were afraid to come forward. Who would have thought that Kevin had such a powerful mentor? Meanwhile, Jeffrey and the other leaders focused all their attention on the Night King. Despite having strength in numbers, they knew that he wasn't someone to be taken lightly. If they were all taken down by a single person in front of this crowd, they would certainly lose the respect of everyone there. What exactly is this greater good that you keep talking about? Are you simply in the business of bullying others just to keep yourselves in power? The Night King's fearless eyes swept again across the group. Answer my question. Who are you? Standing alongside the other leaders, Wayne suddenly asked loudly. I don't have time to waste with you people. I'm going to take my student away now, so don't try to stop me, unless you wish to die. Then the Night King turned around and stepped in front of Lily. I'm Kevin's mentor. Let me have him. The Night King didn't give Lily a chance to reply as he snatched Kevin from her arms. He then took out a small pouch from his pocket and applied some clotting powder onto his face and neck to seal his wounds. Otherwise, Kevin would have died from blood loss before even leaving the arena. Although the Night King really wanted to avenge Kevin, the most important thing right now was to get him somewhere safe and treat him. Besides, he figured that as long as the top 10 organizations existed, he could always have his revenge later on. Soon after, the Night King left the arena with Kevin in his arms. As Wayne and the other leaders looked on, none of them had the courage to stop him. After all, the Night King's previous warning had been quite ominous. When they were both gone from everyone's sight, the school's leaders let out a sigh of relief. Everyone, I hereby announce that the winner of this competition is Kevin. However, because he was seriously injured, we can't proceed to the final stage right now, Wayne declared. The expressions of the school's leaders changed in an instant. The competition had attracted so much attention and featured contestants from the top 10 organizations because the final victor would have the opportunity to kill Roger Knott. But now, with Wayne's decision, wouldn't today's events be cut short? The other leaders would have none of this. What are you saying? Kelly never lost. She was still standing at the end of the fight while Kevin was practically unconscious and needed his mentor to save him, Renee argued. Besides, didn't you say that the competition wouldn't end until one of them died? If it wasn't for that mysterious man suddenly appearing, Kevin would have surely died by now. In that case, Kelly deserves to be declared the victor. Renee's right, Wayne. You're being too biased towards the students of the Healing Arts School. Why don't we ask the referee to make the call instead? Paul remarked. A gentleman must always keep his word, Wayne, but don't treat our organizations like mere pawns just so you can crown your own student at the end, Jeffrey implored. Just admit that the competition was rigged from the very start. Why did you announce Kevin as the winner when their fight ended so abruptly? You need to give everyone a good explanation, Renee demanded. The battle did indeed come to an abrupt end, but let me ask you. Kevin clearly had the upper hand, easily dodging Kelly's strikes. All of a sudden, he gets pulled towards Kelly's sword, but starts bleeding profusely without even touching the blade. I assume you know the reason better than any of us. Those tiny magnetic spikes look pretty familiar. Isn't the owner of the company that produces them a member of the union? Wayne accused her fearlessly. I don't know what you're talking about. Stop spreading baseless lies. Renee adamantly denied any involvement. If it weren't for your antics, that powerful and mysterious person wouldn't have come here to threaten us. Anyway, I won't say anything else, but I'm standing by what I said earlier. The Healing Arts School will no longer accommodate any members of the union, so you can leave my school immediately, Wayne smiled.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.